Hey guys, today we're installing the AWS CLI. So we're going to start off by using curl to pull down the zip file. So you see here it's downloading. So we pull it down from our terminal using curl, and there we go. We've got it downloaded, and we're going to unzip it. Takes a second or so. And now that it's unzipped, we're going to show you how you can actually install this. So we're using sudo, and you can run sudo AWS install, but we're actually going to cancel that. So we're going to actually show you how you can install it in your home directory if you don't have root permissions. So we're going to use the -i and specify a subdirectory in my home directory. Now you see there's an error here and it says it can't create that symlink. That's because we didn't use sudo. Now you could just use sudo and this is a non-issue, and then you won't have to even set up the path or anything. But in this case, that step failed because we didn't use sudo. We just wanted to do it without root permissions. So we run AWS-version to test it, and we see the AWS command is not there, and that's just because it's not on our path. So we can fix this. So we're basically going to echo command into our bashrc file that will export our path variable, and we're basically going to be adding the path to the AWS binaries in our custom location in our home directory. We're gonna add that path. We're gonna add that location to our path variable, and we're gonna put this export command. We're gonna echo it out into our bashrc file. So every time we open a new terminal, it's gonna source our bashrc file, and so right now, rather than closing this terminal and opening a new one, we're going to source our bashrc file. But any new terminal we open after making this change to the bashrc will have the path in the right place. And you see we run AWS version and it works. So anyways, now we're going to actually create some credentials in the web GUI in the web console here. So we're going to go to IAM. And if you already have these credentials, you could skip this part. But yeah, in order to get the CLI working, you have to actually create credentials in the GUI, unless someone else has the CLI working, and they will, they could give you the credentials, and you can do everything from the GUI. Anyways, so went to IAM, went to users, went to create a new user, and specify a username. Now you have a few options here for permissions. You could add this user to a group, copy permissions. Here I'm going to attach a policy directly so I can show you how I select the policy. Now we selected attach a policy directly. Now we're going to search, and we see administrator access right here, and I'll show you this a little bit later, but I'll show you what's in that policy. But we're going to select that. That basically gives you permission to do everything, which if you're using your own dev account, that's kind of what you want. If you're in a corporate environment, you're going to want to use whatever someone assigns to you or whatever you're allowed to use. But in any case, from here we see we have two users, one that's already existing and another new user. So that's the user we created, user 2. So we're going to click on that, and from here we're going to scroll down a little bit, and you see there's the policy that we attached to this. So if we expand it, you can scroll down a little bit, and you can see this policy grants access to everything. So it allows you to take all actions on all resources, and it just grants allow to all actions on all resources. So that's exactly what we want, to just allow us to do anything we would want to do. You could have more restricted. Normally in practice, like in production, you'd have more restrictive policies, but for testing or dev, you'd probably want that. So now we're going to create. We went to security, and we clicked to create an access key. We select for the CLI, and it's recommending we use some alternatives, which are all fine and great, but we're not going to use that right now. Anyways, you could put a description if you want, or just click create access key. So basically just click on all the stuff I did, and here it gives you your access key and the secret key. This is the only time it's going to show you the secret key, so make sure you copy this to a safe and secure place right now before clicking next and leaving this screen. So here what I'm doing is I'm copying these to basically to a text editor for later use. Now, normally you want to keep these secret and not show anybody. Like, for example, what I'm doing here, showing these on the video, you wouldn't want to show this to everybody because anyone can authenticate as me with these. So I've actually already deleted I've deleted this user and these credentials. I deleted both of the users on this account before actually publishing this video. But yeah, anyways, just finish setting up those credentials, come back here and run AWS Configure. This is where you're going to actually use these credentials, put in your access key ID and your secret access key, right? So put in pass both of those parameters. You know, specify a default region. You don't have to, but I usually do. And you're going to specify the default output as JSON, just what I'm most comfortable with, what I prefer. Now, if this creates a .aws hidden directory, and in that directory there's a config file that basically holds your output and region that you just configured, that was just created with that command, and the credentials file. This is where your secret access key and access key ID are stored. Now, there are, rather than using that command and storing these in these files, you actually also have the option to just set environment variables, which we're not doing here, but that's an alternative way of doing the same thing. Anyways, we're going to test this out. We're running AWS EC2 describe instances, and we see it's empty because I don't have anything in this west region. So this region, I don't have any instances, so it's an empty set returned, but it does show we're connecting to AWS with the CLI successfully. So authentication and everything worked. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pass the region, and we're going to specify a region in which I do actually have instances defined. And I've actually I actually went back and deleted all the instances in this region after recording this video, basically just doing the voiceover right now. But anyways, yeah, there we go. We can query it, and now we actually see details of the instances that I have in this region. And it returns it in JSON, which is nice and easy to parse if you want to, if you want to pull this input into like a script or something. Usually I would use like the Bodo API if I'm doing that, but in any case, yeah, this is what you have returned from the this is what's returned from the CLI, and you can actually tell it to use different formats like a table or whatever else rather than JSON if that's what you prefer. Anyways, hopefully you found this useful. If not useful, maybe at least interesting, but thanks for watching. Definitely hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on the other great content we have. We do a lot of sysadmin stuff, a lot of Linux stuff, a lot of data stuff, coding. We do electronics, Raspberry Pis, robots, 3D printing, all sorts of great tech stuff. So if you want your YouTube feed to be awesome and have all this great stuff, you want to hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell icon. Otherwise, YouTube doesn't let you know when you come out with a new video. And if you know something I don't know, leave a comment down below, not just for me, but for the next person watching this video. And you might want to give me a thumbs up for this video. And that's about it for today. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.